Hello and welcome. This is the first video in a series of short videos on prayer. This video will focus on looking at the way that Jesus prayed, the how, the when, and the where of his prayer life. Before I really get into this lesson, I'd like to start by saying that prayer is essential. In the New Testament letter to the Colossians, the Apostle Paul says, "Continue steadfastly in prayer." That command was needed by those people of Colossae all those years ago, and it's also needed for us today. It's needed for the church. Continue steadfastly in prayer. Don't give up praying. Be strong and keep the faith. Today's lesson will focus on personal prayer. Personal prayer is simply the time that we spend alone speaking to God. Not in a group setting, not with others around us, just you and God. And for that, our primary example is Jesus. The first things we learn are the when, the where, and the how did Jesus pray. So when did Jesus pray? When we read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they show us a picture of Jesus praying throughout the entire day. In Mark chapter 1, verse 35, we see Jesus praying early in the morning. That verse says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went to a solitary place where he prayed. Just a few chapters later, we see Jesus taking time during the day. In Mark 6, it describes a day where Jesus had been ministering to people. As their ministry was wrapping up, it says, after leaving them, he went up on a mountainside to pray. And on several occasions, we see Jesus praying at night, even all night long, as shown in Luke chapter 6, where it says, one of those days, these accounts of Jesus praying to a mountainside throughout the day show us Jesus and spent the night praying to God. He didn't look at prayer as a ritual or something to do at a set time. Instead, he looked at it as a way of life, a daily attitude. Even back in the book of Psalms, we read, day and night that's exactly the way Jesus lived his life. The second thing that we learn from Jesus' example is where he prayed. Many times we see Jesus going off alone to pray. We read that he often went up on the mountainside to spend time in prayer, or other solitary or lonely places, so that he could be alone with his Father God. Also, just Mark before Jesus' crucifixion, it says Jesus got up, Jesus praying alone, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Thirdly, we learn how Jesus prayed. When Jesus prayed, the focus was on God, not on himself. Jesus pointed out how those who weren't close to God prayed specifically so that others could see them praying. Or they would pray long, repetitive prayers, as if the length of prayer could make God listen more intently. But when Jesus prayed, the focus was on God. He prayed prayers that were to the point, not saying the same things over and over again. These three facts, that Jesus prayed often, that he prayed alone, and that when he prayed, the focus was on God, not himself, show us the importance that Jesus placed on prayer. Prayer was a necessary part of the everyday life of Jesus. He prayed during times of temptation, and he prayed for others when they were dealing with difficulties as well. Reading these passages that we've looked at today forces us to look inward and ask the question, how's my prayer life? Or how can my prayer life improve? Are you, like Jesus, taking the time throughout the day to bring our needs to our Father in heaven? Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you click the subscribe button, you'll be alerted to when new videos are added. The next video in this series will begin to take a look at the template for prayer that Jesus gave us, the Lord's Prayer. I'll see you in the next video.